you ever paused in the middle of your day and felt a strange certainty wash over you, like something miraculous is already on its way? The signs of lottery manifestation are not something outside of you. They are inside. You do not manifest by wishing, by hoping, or even by waiting. You manifest by assuming. An assumption is not a thought. It is a feeling. The very moment you feel that you have already won the lottery, in that sacred instant, you alter reality. You were never meant to chase the outcome. You were meant to become it. And this is the great secret of how to manifest winning the lottery, not by effort, but by embodying the vibration of a person who already has it. That's what Feel It Real means. It's not a technique, it's a lifestyle. The law of assumption does not respond to what you think is possible. It responds to who you are being. When you say, I want to manifest the lottery win instantly, you are really saying, I am ready to let go of doubt, of logic, and of time. You are ready to surrender into a deeper truth, that creation is already finished. Every possibility, every number combination, every winning outcome, it already exists. You are not creating anything new. You are selecting it through your state of being. Your role is not to work hard for the win, but to become the one who already knows it has been done. Your role is not to work hard for the win, but to become the one who already knows it has been done. The lottery manifestation signs are not random. They are precise echoes of your own consciousness shifting. When you begin to feel different before anything changes, you are on the brink of a miracle. You no longer ask for signs, you feel them. And when you feel them, you are already living in the end. You will never receive confirmation before the feeling. The subtle feelings before winning the lottery often appear in ordinary moments. Moments when you are relaxed, unattached, and deeply present. You might laugh more, feel lighter, or walk differently. These are not coincidences. These are emotional triggers of lottery manifestation. What you're really doing is shifting your vibration, and that shift must come before the physical prize. Do not wait for the bank balance to confirm. Wait for your body to confirm. Wait for your state to rise. And it will, naturally, because you have moved inwardly. To know how to manifest the lottery is to know the mirror principle. Nothing out there will change until you do. Visualizing lottery numbers doesn't guarantee anything unless it's done from a state of knowing. You must walk in imagination as the one who already owns the winning ticket. You must stand in line at the counter in your mind and feel the ticket in your hand. Feel the texture, feel the pulse of having. Then, and only then, do you send out the signal that summons the outcome. This is the law. The outer reflects the inner, always, without fail. People often ask, how do I know it's working? And I say, look at your synchronicities. Do you see repeating numbers? Are strangers talking about the lottery around you? Do random tickets show up in your feed, your dreams, your inbox? These are not the cause of your manifestation. They are the confirmation that your state has changed. These are manifestation synchronicities. But don't cling to them. Let them pass like signs on the highway. Smile at them, acknowledge them. But keep your attention on the end, the moment where you are already victorious. There is no outer world more real than the inner one you carry. The secret of the lottery vibration science is this. When the inner image becomes more vivid than your bank account, the shift is complete. You might wake up feeling unusually peaceful or sense a glowing energy in your chest. These are not fantasies. These are energetic certainties. You have entered the realm where imagination is more trusted than facts, and that is where the quantum leap occurs. In this realm, reality has no choice but to mirror your conviction. And finally, the greatest test, the one most ignored, is surrender. Once you have felt it real, once you've embodied the state, let it go. Do not dwell in anxious checking. Don't measure or evaluate. That is the ego's interference. The real power lies in dropping the need to control. You've selected your state, you've tuned your vibration, and now your job is joy. Go live, go laugh, go love. The lottery win Neville Goddard method is not about grasping. It's about receiving through effortless inner certainty. The moment you no longer need it, you'll become magnetically ready to receive it. You will never receive confirmation before the feeling. This truth, though it may frustrate the reasoning mind, is the axis upon which all manifestation turns. You may look at your bank balance and see numbers you don't prefer. You may glance at your environment and find no evidence of movement. But if within you there is a quiet shift, a subtle inner click where you know, without needing to prove it, that you have entered the only doorway that matters. Manifestation is not triggered by action, but by assumption. That is, by entering emotionally into the state you desire and dwelling there as if it were already real. The feeling is the secret language of creation. It is the invisible thread between you and the world you wish to experience. Many believe they must see before they feel. They want the wind to appear and then they will celebrate, but the law is reversed. Celebration first, manifestation second. You must reverse the order of the senses. What you feel now will be echoed later. What you assume today will be confirmed tomorrow. The subtle feelings before winning the lottery, those moments of inexplicable joy, calm, inner conviction, are not meaningless. They are the proofs of your becoming. They are the pre-birth contractions of a reality being shaped in the unseen. This is where true power lives, not in outer events, but in inner certainty. You may not even know why you feel lighter. You may simply wake up one morning, stretch your arms, and smile for no reason. You might walk differently, speak differently, respond differently. The change is not rational, it is vibrational. And in that moment, you must remember that feeling is function. You are not preparing to win, you are already in possession of it, internally. And because of that, the world will soon align. But only if you do not fall for the lie that says you must see to believe, that you must touch to know. The higher law says you must believe to see, you must feel to receive, and you must assume in advance what will be yours. To feel is to claim. Feeling is not a weak emotional whim, it is a spiritual command. It signals to the universe that you are now identifying with a new reality, a new vibration. And once you identify with it, life has no choice but to mirror. You may not know how it will come. You may not guess the means. But the law does not require prediction. It requires possession. You must feel the wish fulfilled, not wonder when it might be. So the person who knows they have already won the lottery does not worry about bills. They smile when they enter the room. They expect good news. Their shoulders are relaxed. Their breath is deep. Their peace is a prophecy. You do not have to force this feeling. In fact, effort is often a sign of resistance. Instead, relax into it. Become still, close your eyes and ask, what would I feel like if I had already received my lottery win? Not what would I think, what would I feel? And when the answer arises, maybe it's relief, joy, confidence, security. Linger in that feeling. Let it become your new home. Let it color your words, your walk, your sleep. When you impress this feeling deeply enough upon the mind, it becomes a mold. And into that mold, the substance of your world must pour. This is the sacred reversal, that inner conviction comes first and outer evidence comes later. Those who master this live free. They do not rely on their five senses for confirmation. They rely on the sixth sense, imagination fused with belief. They feel from the end. They feel as if the wish is fulfilled. And because they feel it, it is. You may begin with only a flicker of this feeling, but even the smallest flame, when nurtured, becomes a fire. And that fire burns through doubt, through delay, through denial. Do not be discouraged if you do not feel it fully on the first try. Do not criticize yourself if the old reality still lingers. This is not about perfection. It is about persistence. Each time you return to the feeling, each time you claim it again, you deepen the groove. You strengthen the new identity, and soon it becomes natural. The desire no longer feels distant. It feels familiar. And in that familiarity, manifestation becomes inevitable. You are no longer hoping. You are remembering. You are no longer wishing. You are receiving. This is how the miracle begins. Not with action, but with vibration. Not with striving, but with assuming. The world bends quietly. invisibly but unmistakably to the one who dares to feel it real. And you, by mastering the art of inner conviction, become the vessel through which the impossible is made visible. When the feeling precedes the proof must arrive, for the law is certain, as within, so without. To manifest the lottery, one must understand the sacred mirror principle. Nothing changes outside until something changes inside. The outside world is not the cause, it is the effect. It does not initiate change, it reflects the inner state you consistently occupy. This is not philosophy, this is law. If you desire a different financial reality, you must first inhabit a new psychological identity, not through wishful thinking, but by assuming the feeling of the new state as though it were already established fact. Until this happens, nothing will appear to shift. But the moment you identify with a new version of yourself, truly, fully, emotionally, your outer life must obey the instruction. Visualizing the winning numbers may seem like an effective practice, but it is not enough to merely see them with your mental eye. Visualization by itself is hollow if it lacks the essence of being. You must do more than imagine, you must embody. You must feel from the end, not toward it. If you see yourself holding a winning ticket but still feel uncertain or skeptical, you are not in alignment with the outcome. But if you stand inwardly in the position of possession, if you feel the thrill, the certainty, the gratitude of already having received the win, then you have crossed the threshold. In imagination, stand in line at the lottery counter, sense the paper in your fingers, hear the ambient sounds of your surroundings, look at the numbers printed clearly before you. Let the image be vivid, yes, but more importantly, let the emotion of already having won flood your being. Do not reach for it as something future. Dwell in it as something current. It is yours. You do not need to force the picture or repeat it endlessly. One vivid moment of assuming the state can outweigh 1,000 hollow repetitions. But you must accept it fully. You must stop dreaming and start remembering. You are not here to create from effort. You are here to select from the infinite. Every possible version of your life already exists. There is a version of you who has already received the call, already claimed the prize, already celebrated the breakthrough. And that version is not far away. It is simply a different frequency, a different vibration. To access it, you don't need to work harder. You need to tune differently. You must tune your inner state to that of already having. This is not magic, it is resonance. When your dominant vibration matches the reality you desire, the world conforms. You may not realize it, but you are always in communication with the mirror of life. Every reaction, every assumption, every emotion is a message being sent to the field of existence, and the field never fails to respond. If your reaction to lack is fear, then you reinforce the state of lack. If your reaction to wealth is joy and ownership, then you shift into the state of wealth. It is not the words you speak that change things. It is the conviction behind them. Words may lie, but feelings never do. The universe listens not to what you say, but to what you feel to be true. Stand each morning in front of the mirror and speak as though the win has happened. Move through your day not as a seeker, but as a receiver. Don't merely hope for results, act from results. Let your posture, your tone, your breath be colored by the new identity. The mirror will not change first. It will wait. It is always waiting for you to go first. When you do, it reflects. And the reflection is precise. It gives you not what you wish, but what you assume. Not what you plead for, but what you claim. Begin now before the numbers are drawn, before the ticket is bought, before the call comes in. Begin now by declaring yourself the winner in consciousness. If it feels unnatural at first, persist. The world you live in is the echo of your inner world. If your inner world becomes saturated with wealth, success, gratitude, and joy, the outer world will become its match. The mirror cannot distort. It can only reflect what is impressed upon. Therefore, you must impress only the state you desire, not through effort or willpower, but through gentle yet determined inner assumption. Many sabotage their own manifestation by checking the mirror too soon. They look for signs before the transformation is complete. But the wise one holds to the feeling until the mirror catches up. When you no longer need the mirror to confirm it, you have already won. The outer becomes irrelevant. You are so fully absorbed in the inner reality that its physical form is just a matter of time. The delay, if any, is only in appearance. The substance of the manifestation was finished the moment you felt it real. So you must make imagination your reality, not fantasy. And you must walk in that internal scene, not as an observer, but as a participant. Own it, speak from it, live from it. Let that assumption shape your day, your mood, your decisions. You are not visualizing to convince yourself. You are remembering what has already occurred in the unseen, and as you do, life bends to mirror your truth. When the signs begin to show up in your world, they are not to be chased, clung to, or analyzed endlessly. They are whispers, gentle nods from the invisible world that your assumption has taken root. And yet, many misunderstand their role. They wait for signs as if the signs are proof they can finally begin to believe. But in truth, the sign is not the cause of manifestation. It is the confirmation. And when you grasp this, you stop looking for permission from the world and begin living from inner knowing. A lottery win or any outward expression of abundance does not come because you saw a feather or because a repeating number pattern flashed before your eyes. Those moments, beautiful as they are only reflections of your new identity taking form. They are echoes, not the source. To worship the sign is to forget the signal that created it. You are the signal. You are the origin. And the world moves in response to your inner tone. Synchronicities are natural phenomena. They are the frictionless unfolding of the world to match your state. When you have truly assumed a state, especially one as powerful as being the winner of a lottery, life cannot help but respond. It begins rearranging itself around you. Not because you are doing something in the outer, but because you have become something within. That becoming is invisible to others, but deeply felt by you. And in that feeling, the bridge of incidents begins to form. It may seem unrelated at first. A person mentions winning, a commercial flashes on screen, a dream leaves you breathless. But these are the soft-footed signs of a reality shifting to match your new frequency. This is where most become impatient. They want the signs to scream. They want confirmation that cannot be missed. But the deeper your trust, the quieter the world's response becomes. Because you no longer need proof. You are not reaching out for signs. You are recognizing them as mirrors. And you do so with detachment, not desperation. The desperate soul grabs at every symbol and demands more. But the one who knows walks calmly, nodding with quiet joy as the universe begins to whisper back, yes, you've done it. The mold has been cast. You must learn to greet these synchronicities with the calm confidence of someone who expected them. Smile gently when a friend jokes about winning the lottery. Breathe deeply when you dream of numbers. Let it all pass through you without obsession. Because obsession is the language of doubt. And you, in your power, are no longer doubting, you are remembering. The difference is everything. You are not begging reality to give you a sign. You are appreciating the signs already flowing from your assumed state. To live in this way is to become magnetic. The law is precise and unbending. When you have fully internalized the state of the wish fulfilled, the entire matrix of reality reconfigures to bring it about. The signs increase not because you search harder, but because you have surrendered more fully. You begin to notice more because you have aligned your perception to the frequency of your desire. Your eyes, your ears, your senses become filters for the new state. And so what was once invisible becomes obvious. This is not coincidence. This is calibration. Do not expect the sign to come before the state. Expect the signs to follow the shift. And when they do, treat them as gentle affirmations, not lifeboats. The moment you grasp for them, you slip back into the state of wanting. The moment you analyze them endlessly, you have left the end and returned to the beginning. Stay in the end, stay in the feeling. Let the signs be delightful, but not necessary. You do not manifest through signs. You manifest through identity. The signs simply reveal what has already been planted. You will know you are close, not because of what you see outside, but because of what you no longer need to see. There will be a stillness, a relaxation, a peaceful detachment. This is the true sign. When the inner world feels more real than the outer, the manifestation is inevitable. It has already crystallized in the unseen, and the outer world is merely catching up. There may be time between the seed and the sprout, but the existence of the seed guarantees the plant. Each synchronicity is a reminder that you are walking correctly, that your feet are upon the bridge of incidents leading to your prize. But remember, the bridge is not your business. Your business is the assumption. Your business is the maintenance of the state. Let the signs come, let them go. Your goal is not to collect feathers or repeating digits. Your goal is to live as though it is done. And from that state, signs will follow you like a shadow. Not because you chase them, but because you are aligned with truth. There is a reality more real than what your senses report. That reality is the one you construct within. It does not bow to physical proof, nor is it bound by what others can see. It lives within the theater of your imagination. And this inner realm, though often dismissed as fantasy, is in truth a blueprint of your outer world. Whatever you consistently dwell on in imagination, whatever you feel to be true from within, must externalize in time. The one who understands this no longer consults the outer world for confirmation, but turns inward for authority. To manifest anything, including a lottery win, you must make imagination the primary reality. This means that you do not wait for the senses to give you permission to feel abundant. You feel abundant now, and the senses will eventually catch up. The visible world is always late. It reports after the fact, but your inner world, the world of consciousness, assumption, and belief, is immediate. When you understand this reversal, you take back your power. You no longer check your bank account to decide how to feel. You let your feeling define what the bank account must eventually show. When you walk in imagination as though the desire has already manifested, you're not indulging in make-believe. You are instructing reality. You are setting the tone, the frequency, the mold that will be filled by the events of your life. And the clearer and more consistent that inner walk becomes, the faster the outer world adjusts. You might walk through your home and see the same furniture, the same walls, the same unopened mailbox. But if within you see yourself as wealthy, secure, celebrated, then you are no longer living in the past. You are living in the end. Many miss the mark because they return again and again to the old image. They react to their current conditions and call it being realistic. But realism is a trap for those who wish to create. The current circumstance is only the echo of a former state. To remain there is to freeze the past into your future. But when you dare to feel something new, to assume something greater, you break the loop. You choose a new self, and that self begins to pull into your life the reflections that match it. It is not effortful. It is not achieved by force. It is achieved by alignment. The alignment happens when your imagination becomes more vivid and trusted than your facts. It happens when you can sit quietly and feel the cool paper of a lottery ticket in your palm, the weight of it, the precise texture. You imagine reading the numbers, your heart pounding with disbelief, and then the release of deep, shaking joy. You hear your inner voice whispering, "It's real, it's mine." And in that moment, it is real. Not tomorrow, not when the draw happens, not when the bank calls, but now. And if you sustain that inner reality, if you return to it and live from it, your world will take on the shape of your conviction. This is not escapism. It is creation. Imagination is not an escape from life. It is the source of it. Every building you've ever entered, every song you've ever heard, every technology you've ever used began in someone's imagination. The outer world is built from inner vision. So why would you hesitate to use that same power for your own becoming? Why would you deny yourself the one faculty that determines everything else? To imagine is to begin the movement of manifestation. To sustain imagination is to command its completion. There will come a time when you no longer care what the outer says, not because you're indifferent, but because you know the truth lives within. You could check your ticket and see nothing. But if your inner world says it is done, then it must become done. And that certainty creates a vibration, a frequency that bends reality in your favor. It may come through unexpected means, through sudden opportunities, through chance conversations, but it will come. It must. For the outer is ruled by the inner, not the other way around. So let imagination become your dwelling place. Walk through your day not in reaction to what is, but in alignment with what you have assumed to be. If you wish to be a lottery winner, stop visualizing and start remembering. Stop wishing and start feeling. Speak from the wind, think from the wind, move from the wind, and do so not once, but repeatedly, until the line between inner and outer dissolves. Eventually, the feeling of your imagined wind becomes so natural, so normal, that when it does arrive in physical form, you are not surprised. You are simply receiving what you've already lived 1,000 times within. When imagination is honored above appearances, miracles unfold quietly. You will not have to force them. You will not have to prove anything. Life will reveal what you have chosen to feel. And in that sacred moment, you will see that the inner world was never empty or false. It was the seed bed of all reality. There comes a point in the journey of manifestation where all inner work must give way to release, not abandonment, but surrender. The difference is everything. To abandon a desire is to declare defeat, but to surrender a desire after it has been fully assumed is to declare mastery. This is the sacred letting go. Once the feeling has been impressed upon the subconscious, once the assumption has become your new dwelling place, the next step is not doing more, but trusting more. You let go, not because you are tired, but because you now know. Letting go is the final act of faith. It is the invisible signal that says the transaction is complete. There is no more to seek, to visualize, to affirm. The inner scene has been constructed, felt, and lived through. What remains is the unfolding and organic, inevitable process that will bridge the inner world with the outer. But this process is delayed and distorted when one interferes. The moment you begin watching for signs with anxious eyes or questioning whether it's working, you have stepped back into the old state, the one that hoped and wished instead of knowing. True surrender is silent. It is calm. It walks with a smile. It holds no stopwatch. When you've done the inner work correctly, you no longer need to ask, where is it? That question doesn't even arise. It has already happened within you. You are now behaving from a memory, not a desire. The moment you need reassurance, you expose that you never actually entered the state. But if you have truly felt it real, if the emotions of your lottery win have soaked into your body, if the peace of already having it has transformed your posture, your voice, your breath, then the next natural step is rest. And in that rest, all things unfold perfectly. Do not let rest be mistaken for inaction. Rest is the most powerful form of aligned action. It is the signal to the deeper self that nothing more is needed. The seed has been planted, the ground has been watered, the sun is rising. You no longer dig up the soil to check on the roots. You leave it, you let it grow. And this act of sacred letting go is what completes the process. It says to the mirror of life, I am complete. Reflect that. This is why letting go often produces rapid results, because it breaks the cycle of obsession. The moment you let go, you release the resistance. You give permission to the reality to meet you. You no longer stand in the doorway blocking it with your impatience, your analysis, your doubt. You step aside, not out of fear, but out of inner peace. You don't let go to give up. You let go because you've already received. This is where many misunderstand the work of creation. They think the power is in repetition, in affirming longer, visualizing harder, doing more. But true creation is not about quantity, it's about quality. One single moment of true felt assumption, followed by surrender, is more potent than 1,000 hours of mechanical ritual. It is not about effort. It is about becoming. And once you've become the version of yourself who has already received, there is nothing left to do but to walk in the world with the quiet dignity of one who knows. The world cannot help but bow to that vibration. Things begin to shift in ways you could not plan. Phone calls come, opportunities arise, doors open, numbers align, not because you forced them, but because you matched them. You vibrated in harmony with your outcome. The lottery win or anything else you desire was never about odds or chance. It was about embodiment. Once you embodied the state and then released it with peace, the invisible gears of the universe began to move. It may feel strange at first to stop trying. You may be tempted to check, to wonder, to second guess. But hold steady, remain unmoved. Act as if you already possess what you desire. You may continue your daily routine, go to work, engage with others, but inwardly you walk as the one who has already received. The mood of certainty becomes your atmosphere. The tone of success becomes your language. You celebrate quietly, not for what you hope to get, but for what you have already secured in consciousness. And in that atmosphere, life rushes to obey. You don't manifest through striving, you manifest through surrender after assumption. The heavy lifting is not yours to do. The bridge of incidents will appear and you will cross it, guided effortlessly by unseen forces. But your only task now is to stay true to your new state without watching the clock. Time becomes irrelevant. The manifestation may come tomorrow or next week or in the next breath. It does not matter. The moment you stop caring when is often the moment it arrives. To let go is not to become passive. It is to become powerful. It is to say to the universe, I have done my part, now let it be. And so it is. Everything you desire is already yours in the realm beyond the senses. To manifest the lottery win or any great blessing, you must first live in the feeling of having received it. The outer world is but a mirror reflecting your inner state. So change what you feel deeply and consistently within. Trust the subtle shifts, the quiet confirmations, and the invisible workings of your imagination. Let go of doubt. Release the need to control the timing and walk with unwavering faith in the unseen. Know that your imagination is the true reality, more potent than any physical proof. The signs you seek will come as gentle affirmations, not demands, guiding you like a soft current beneath the surface of your life. When you fully embody the state of having won, you no longer chase or strive, you simply receive. And through the sacred art of assumption, followed by surrender, life will rearrange itself in perfect harmony with your conviction. Hold fast to this knowing. The lottery manifestation is not about chance, effort, or waiting. It is about becoming the one who already has what they desire. When you live in that truth, the world must reflect it. Your role is to assume, feel, and then release. With calm confidence, knowing that what you have imagined and felt so deeply is already done. The universe is silent but faithful. Trust it to bring forth your victory.